In this presentation, we will look at some of the irregular verbs in the preterite tense, the past tense, the snapshot photograph past tense, as I call it. Some of these verbs are some of the most used, right? We've already established some of the irregular verbs in Portuguese are some of the most used verbs, and you really just have to memorize their endings. Okay, sometimes, or some of the irregular verbs, they have forms that are the same conjugation endings as the regular verbs. But what makes them irregular is that at least one form is conjugated differently. So let's look at some of the most used irregular verbs in the preterite tense. We'll start with the verb ter, to have, ter. Eu tive, você, ele, ela, teve, nós tivemos, and vocês, eles, elas tiveram. Tive, teve, tivemos, tiveram. So I gave you the sentence examples of eu tive uma boa ideia antes. I had a good idea earlier. I had the idea, it's over, it's done, but it was that snapshot photograph in time. All right, just that moment was captured in time. I had a good idea. Eu tive uma boa ideia antes. Ela já teve uma reunião. She already had a meeting. Nós não tivemos tempo. We did not have time. And vocês tiveram uma chance. You guys had a chance. So the verb ter will always be conjugated this way in the preterite tense. So you just have to memorize these endings. Let's look at another verb. Also extremely important, ser, to be. This is the permanent form of to be. Permanent characteristics, place of origin, things like that. Ser. So it's eu fui. Você, ele, ela foi. Nós fomos. And vocês, eles, elas foram. So the sentences I give are eu fui bom jogador de basquete no ano passado. I was a good basketball player last year. Okay? Like for that time period, it started, it ended, that year I was good. Maybe I'm not now, maybe I wasn't before, or maybe I am still good, or maybe I was still good before, but for that year, a defined moment in time, I was good. So eu fui. Ele foi excelente no filme. He was excellent in the movie. Nós fomos melhores do que eles no jogo ontem. We were better than them at the game yesterday. And eles foram críveis em suas mentiras. They were believable in their lies. Fui, foi, fomos, foram. Next verb. Now the temporary form of to be, estar. Estar. Eu estive. Você, ele, ela esteve. Nós estivemos. And vocês, eles, elas estiveram. If you'll notice, if you take off the es at the beginning of each form, it's conjugated just like ter, to have, that we just went over, in the preterite form, right? So, but anyway, estar, estive, esteve, estivemos, estiveram. You just have to memorize them. Sentences I gave are, eu estive lá ontem. Eu estive lá ontem. I was there yesterday. Ele esteve no supermercado agora. He was at the supermarket just now. All right? Probably not there anymore, but he was there just now. So that's why it's the preterite form. Just that snapshot photograph in time. Nós estivemos aqui às 14 horas. We were here at 2 p.m. And vocês estiveram na festa ontem à noite. You guys were at the party last night. Estive, esteve, estivemos, estiveram. All right, another super important verb, obviously, that we use all the time. Fazer. To do, to make. Fazer. So it's eu fiz. Você, ele, ela fez. Nós fizemos. And vocês, eles, elas fizeram. You'll notice this way of conjugating, just not regular at all, very different. So you just have to memorize this form, okay? The examples I give: eu fiz a comida. I made the food. O que você fez? What did you do? Nós fizemos roupas incríveis. We made awesome clothes. And eles fizeram bolo delicioso. They made a delicious cake. Fiz, fez, fizemos, fizeram. And our last verb for this presentation, querer, to want. Eu quis, você, ele, ela quis, nós quisemos, and vocês, eles, elas quiseram. Quis, quis, quisemos, quiseram. The sentences I gave: eu não quis as verduras. Eu não quis as verduras. I did not want the vegetables. Ela foi? Não, ela não quis. Did she go? No, she did not want to. Nós quisemos outro cobertor ontem à noite. We wanted another blanket last night. And eles quiseram o carro mais rápido possível hoje. They wanted the fastest car possible today. So, quis, quis, quisemos, and quiseron. So there you have some of the really used irregular verbs in the preterite tense. All right, practice them. Just keep getting better. And once you just, like I said, have to just memorize the endings for. But once you got them, and you're going to use these all the time. All right, agora é sua vez.